Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we'll be discussing about Azure AI services. So this is going to be a multi-part episode. In this episode, we will be discussing some of the traditional services or services considered as the traditional ML services. So what is the difference between the traditional ML and the generative AI? So generative AI, it's what you would be using to create new content. It can be image, it can be text, or it can be video. Wherein like a traditional ML, it's what you build your model to do a specific action. For instance, like extracting the information from an image or extracting the information from a document. All those are considered as a traditional ML. So why do you need to use Azure? Because like Azure, it's a cloud service provider. It provides all these services to you so that you really don't have to build any of these services by yourself. So some of the topics that we will be discussing here, like introduction, NLP, computer vision, speech, document intelligence, and the decision. So when we talk about the services in Azure, at a broad level, you can classify into two different categories. Again, generative AI based and the traditional ML based. So as I highlighted here, like there are quite a few services that falls under a traditional services category, and there are a few that falls under the generative AI. So now let's go to the portal and see like, oh, as you see here, like, these, I would consider these services as the generative AI services, and these can be considered as a traditional services. So there are two ways to create these services. Either you can create these services, especially the traditional services that I'm talking about. You can create these services as an individual service or an individual instance, or you can create something called a multi-service account. So multi-service account, basically it's a single account using which you can perform most of these services, right? So as you see here, it has a decision, language, speech, vision, document intelligence, and all those. So let's see like one after another. So decision, it's what you would be using to decide something. Like for instance, if if you are receiving the input from a user, before you perform anything, you wanted to make sure like the input doesn't have any harmful information, right? So at the time you will be using the content safety, that is part of a decision. On language, you wanted to extract specific information like PHI, and you wanted to understand the sentiment of the text. All those things part of a language. Speech, it's again like a text to speech, speech to text conversion, it's part of a speech. Vision, uh, identifying an image or extracting the information from the image, it's part of a vision. Document intelligent, for instance, like you have an invoice from which you wanted to extract some of the information, it's part of a document intelligence. So now we will see how do we use these services. First we will look into the decision. So under a decision, like there are a number of features that you will see as a whole. Like if you see here, right, so basically like what it says is that it try to make try to decide whether the incoming data it's has any harmful information, and based on which you can perform a specific action. So for text content moderation, for instance, like let's assume that you are building a Gen AI based solution. So before you pass your request from the user, you wanted to validate the requested information information has any harmful data. So we'll be using this content safety to validate. At the same time, like if you're talking about some prompt, then you wanted to make sure like the prompt doesn't have any harmful information, right? So that is again part of this content safety. So now let's see like how do we use these. So you can click on any of these, try it out. For instance, like let me pick up this prompt shield. So hereby like you will be provided with some of the samples, or you can always use your own text here. For instance, this is a safe content, so you can click here to run a test. So run a test and it will tell you, hey, like it has any harmful data or no. This one has some of the harmful data, so it says that there is some issues with it. So that's how you will be using your decision to identify whether the incoming request has any harmful content, and based on which you can do a specific action. Then we have this language. Again, the language, it's basically like, it has again, it has quite a few features here. As you see here, like, you can extract the information, you can classify, or you can summarize and translate. All of this part of a language. For instance, like, let me try here. So let me summarize this, right? Again, same thing. All you need to do is that you need to click on here, and it will take you to a page wherein you can try it out. The beauty here is that for everything, you will get a code, right? So if you're really interested in, right? So if you click on this code, you can choose a language that you are interested in. For instance, Python. So you can copy paste, you're good to go. Right, that's all you need to do. You really don't have to build all your code by yourself. Rather, like, it's all a code will be provided to you. All you need to do is that you wanted to take care of your customization. Okay, so now let's talk about the translation here, or a summary here. So again, like, there is a sample provided. All you need to do is that you need to pick up whatever you want to do, or you can also upload your file. If you have a specific file, you can do so, and at the bottom you will be provided with the results summary, right? And if you wanted to use this service, okay, so in order to use any of these services, there are multiple ways to use this service. I'm showing you in the portal just because, like, it is easy for me to show here, but then, like, as a developer or as a consumer, you will not be using the portal, right? So there are multiple ways to use these services. First of which, you can use a REST endpoint, or you can use the SDK. For instance, if you're coming from Python or C Sharp, there is always going to be SDK available to you, so you can always use the SDK. In terms of here, I'm just showing, like, what is this service and what does it do, right? So I'm not really using the services as a developer. That we will look into it in the next video, right? Speech, you can create a caption, or you can convert text to speech, speech to text. All of these part of a speech services. Again, like, you can click on this tryout to try it out. So you can upload so in this case, I just uploaded my own video, and for which, like, I created a caption, right? So you can very well do that. And then, like, if you're really looking for a code, again, like, there will be a place wherein you can find this code. So this is the code. All you need, you just copy paste the code, you're good to go. Then the next service, it is going to be Vision. So again, Vision, under Vision, you have a lot of features, again, like, OCR, or a face detection, image analysis, and all those part of AI Vision. So in this case, like, let's try to extract the information from the image. I just uploaded a random image here, and it just to extract the information. It works, right? So as you see here, you can use it. So here, where, like, for each of these services, you will see the documentation, SDK reference, and then, like, you will also have the REST endpoint APIs if you really wanted to use it. And for the most part, you will be provided with the code. And the next service, it is going to be document intelligence. So document intelligence, basically, like, there are predefined documents. uh, Basically, like, you can use these predefined layouts to extract this information. If you have a specific layout, you have to train your model to identify your layout, and you want to extract this information. For the purpose of this demo, I am just going to use the OCR here. I just uploaded the document here to extract some of this information. It works, like, you can see here, it extracts all this information here. Also, like, there is a code available, so you can choose whatever the language that you are interested in. You will have the code. Right, so that's how we can use all these traditional services. Now in the next video, we will go into the Azure AI services, basically, like, the Gen AI services. It's what we will be looking at in our next video. Thank you for watching.